Hey everyone, Sarah Pacaro. This video today will talk about the commonly asked question that I get in groups and on my page is, can narcissistic abuse cause OCD? So can narcissistic abuse trigger OCD? Can it cause OCD? What happens to you after narcissistic abuse? Is OCD common with narcissism related? All of these questions. So this video today is going to highlight and answer that. Can OCD be caused by narcissistic abuse? If you are someone who is in an emotionally unavailable, emotionally abusive relationship, you may be triggered. You may be doing things now obsessively and compulsively, things that you didn't do prior to the relationship or before the relationship. So I really simply want to break down what OCD is. OCD is obsessive compulsive disorder. And really at its core and at its truth and at its root, OCD is nothing more than the need to control something external because your mind believes it's easier than controlling something internal. So internally, there's chaos, there's no control. And this gets expressed externally through the repetitiveness, of whatever it is. Maybe it's constantly going back and checking to make sure that the lights are off or the water has been turned off or that the garage is shut. Maybe it's something that you do physically. I've actually worked with clients who obsessively and compulsively will pick the beds of their nails, so much so that they're bleeding, that they're raw, even though it's causing physical pain and physical harm, it becomes an obsession and a compulsion, and they can't stop. And they've tried everything to try and rid of that behavior because it is painful. They're not numb to the physical pain, but that has become this OCD trait that was developed because of the lack of control in their internal environment, but really more so than that, the lack of control in their mind. So if you cannot control something internally, you will try and express that control with something in your external environment. And the mind thinks this, and our culture reinforces that control makes us happy, but control is really and actually an illusion. And so, in fact, it cannot make you happy. If you think about, and you say, well, I can control what even something simple, take what you're going to have for dinner, for example. Well, say you're going to make spaghetti for dinner. Can you actually control you having spaghetti for dinner? What if the stove doesn't work? Can you control that? What if the gas or the electricity goes out? Can you control that? And that is a part of making spaghetti for dinner. But your mind thinks, I'm going to have spaghetti for dinner. And maybe the OCD or this obsessive compulsiveness comes in with checking to make sure that the stove is off, and waking up in the middle of the night and checking, and then leaving the house to go somewhere, and then turning around and driving back just to check to make sure that the stove is off. That's an element of OCD, and that's an illusion of control. But you think that it makes you happy when you check and you get the validation that in fact, yes, it is off. And this is all because your internal environment, the environment inside your mind, is chaotic, is not at ease, and does not have a sense of calm and control. So that is what's going on when you have obsessive compulsive or OCD. Can it come from narcissistic abuse? Well, in a narcissistic or an emotionally unavailable or an emotionally abusive relationship, there is no control. There is tons and tons and tons of chaos. You're constantly questioning yourself, second guessing, did I do that? Because this person is telling you that you did or didn't, and you're rewinding and replaying the story and thinking, wait a minute, no, that is what happened. And then you share that information with this person, and that person says, no, that's not at all what happened. What happened is, or what happened was, and then they replay the story in their favor, painting them to look as the victim and look as the one who was hurt. And you're thinking, wait, that's not at all how it was. And there's no control in that type of relationship or environment. And your mind, when it develops these, OCD or these patterns of behaviors, what it's doing is it's looking for something that it can control, because then it will feel safe, and then it will feel calm, and then it will feel at ease. And if you're someone who has OCD or has things that you do that you're constantly checking on, and you know this, for a moment you get this hit of temporary relief when you get that validation and check. Let's go back to the stove example. Yes, the stove is off. Okay, we can go. And then you drive 2 miles down the road, 5 miles down the road, and you're thinking, wait a minute, am I sure? I know that I went back, and I know that I've already checked, but I Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not off. And that's the same thing that happens in a narcissistic relationship. You second guess, you need to go check again. You need that external validation. You need that form of and source of control because it gives you an element and a feeling of safety, calmness, and ease. So, short answer, can OCD be developed from and within narcissistic relationships? Yes, because that is exactly what you're looking for. You're looking for that sense of safety, that sense of control, and needing to display it with something external because you believe that it's easier than controlling something internal, and you feel internally that there is no sense of control. Can this be fixed and broken and changed very, very quickly? Yes, it does not take years and years and years of therapy. It does not take more knowledge or information about OCD. You already know because you've lived with it, you're experiencing it personally or for yourself, or perhaps you live with someone who does, and it impacts the quality of your life, the quality of their life, the time in which they can spend doing things that they enjoy because their mind is preoccupied and somewhere else. And so they're never present. They're always checked out. And this can be you, if this is you that you experience this, or a loved one or family member. So if that is, just understand that that is what's going on, and to change the internal environment, to change the belief system that you need to do that thing in order to feel safe, at ease, and calm is not the case. So that's what needs to change. Is not actually that thing, because that's just a symptom of something that's going on and triggering this at a deeper level and internally. So the belief system needs to change in order for those actions and patterns and habits and behaviors to change. Because a belief system is, wait, no, that's not the case. So I need to go check again. So yes, that is what's going on. If you are someone who experiences OCD, if you are someone who has been through an emotionally abusive and emotionally unavailable relationship, and now you have OCD, you have these things that you do or things that you don't do that you wish you did do. If that is what it is, you just obsessively procrastinate, you obsessively put things off, but your mind feels like, well, I'm not going to start it because then I'll fail. What's the point? Or if you are someone who is ready to release and ready to let go of, and you don't know how, and you notice that your mind always says, but I can't. And you get obsessed and stuck on these thoughts and these beliefs, and you get stuck in life. All of it, everything is connected and related. But if you are someone who's ready to commit to yourself to doing the inner work to heal, to breaking free from these OCD things and traits and patterns and behaviors that you do, and everything else that you've tried hasn't worked, I understand completely. And that is what every client that I works with as well has experienced. So you can break free easily and quickly. And if you're ready to connect, you're ready to do so, then let's do it. There's a free training in in the description below my video that will help you understand more about how I work with clients, answer a lot of the common questions that I get. So I would love for you to check that out, and then jump right into the program to working together, or book a call if you're more interested in working one-to-one together. All right, guys, for all of you who have OCD, know that you don't have to live with that forever, that there is change and it happens very, very quickly. So get excited and look forward to it. Thanks, guys.